pregnant, but there was still plenty of time to find the right moment to tell Garrett about it. If only he'd stop looking at her like he wanted her for lunch, making her insides twist and clench with yearning. "You may now kiss the bride." Startled, Kate couldn't believe she'd missed so much of the ceremony. And then she watched as the handsome, blonde-haired Julian lifted Molly in his arms as if she weighed no more than a feather and kissed the breath out of her. Arms twining around him, Molly squeaked in delight as Julian swung her full circle, still kissing her. But he pulled back with a frown and murmured, "Oh, crap," when he realized Molly's train had gone round and round both their bodies. When they looked down to the coil around them, they both burst out laughing, then they started kissing again, Julian's open hands almost engulfing all of Molly's petite face as he cradled it. "I got it," Kate said, laughing as she easily detached the train from her sister's dress. With Molly in his arms, Julian hopped out of the tulle and carried her down the aisle to the cheers and claps of their guests and the blaring sound of the wedding march. They looked so happy, so in love as they headed for the beautifully decorated gardens where their outdoor wedding celebration was to take place, leaving Kate behind with a pair of stinging eyes, the train, and the best man. As Kate began gathering what felt like 100 miles of tulle, Garrett came over, bringing her the other end of the train. She couldn't seem to look up at him. "Thanks," she said, and felt her cheeks burn. God, why was she even blushing? They'd grown up together. He should be a man she was comfortable with, and instead she was a wreck, just wondering how she was going to tell him. Despite how much it hurt her to know he was marrying someone else, she didn't want to ruin his life, because he'd always protected and cared for her. Always. And she feared this news was going to be a whopper for him. Suddenly, his tan, long-fingered hands captured and stilled hers, and she held her breath as the warmth of his palms seeped into her skin. She looked up and into those riveting onyx eyes, her lungs straining for air. "Tell me if I'm mistaken." His voice was low, his eyes so unbearably intimate she could die. "But did my brother just marry your sister?" She wouldn't stare at his beautifully shaped lips as he spoke. She wouldn't. But oh God, he was so handsome she could burst from it. "It only took a full hour, Garrett. You couldn't have missed it," she said, trying to keep her voice level. And yet, maybe she was hallucinating, but was he staring at her lips? "Apparently I did." "You were standing right there. Where were you? Mars?" She straightened and rolled her eyes, ready to leave, but his voice, the intensity in his words, stopped her. "I was in my bedroom, Kate, with you in my arms." She went utterly still, her back to him, while every inch of her body fought to suppress a tremor of heat that fluttered enticingly down her spine. His words seduced her body and soul in ways she couldn't even believe were possible. Her legs felt watery, and every pore in her body quivered with wanting of him. His words transported her to his bedroom, to his arms, to that night. No, she couldn't do this here. She just couldn't. Shaking her head almost to herself, she started down the beautiful red path that led to the Gage mansion, painfully aware that he followed. "Kay, I need to talk to you," he said thickly. That low, coarse timbre managed to do sexy things to her skin, and her physical response to him irritated her beyond measure. "If it's to tell me about your wedding, I already know. Congratulations," she said in a voice as flat as the bottom of her shoe. "Then maybe you can tell me the details, since apparently you know more about it than I do. Damn it, I need to talk to you somewhere private." He grabbed her elbow to halt her, but she immediately yanked it free. "I need to talk to you too, but I'm not doing it here, nor am I..."